From the Mara Serena Lodge, we're headed for the Mara Intrepids Camp. On the map, it looks like just a short distance across the Mara River. But as any of the residents here can tell you, the only way across the Mara is to swim or fly. So we're driving north to the border of the National Reserve, across the nearest bridge, and then south to the Mara Intrepids. Some of our group are going up on a balloon this morning. It looks like a good day for it. On the long drive, we keep busy looking for birds. We've come 17 kilometers and it's time for our bush breakfast. Our guides have a perfect place picked. It features an expansive view of the savanna, which stretches as far as the eye can see. We disturb some curious water bucks. But the elephants seem unfazed by our presence. At the Olololo Gate, we are entertained by a gang of banded mongoose, and we officially leave the reserve. Here's a Masai village, much like the village we visited in Samburu. The view from the bridge looking upstream on the Mara River. It looks a lot different up here in the hills than down in the savannah. It's Sunday and the people have turned out to go to church in their Sunday best. We're at the Musiara Gate and re-enter the Masai Mara National Reserve. Next stop, the Mara Intrepids Camp. We're happy to be back in a tent again. We've arrived in time for a late lunch. Before we can get too comfortable, it's time for an afternoon game drive. Our guides have talked to the local guides at the camp, and there's a coalition of 5 cheetah who've been making daily kills. Without too much trouble, our guides are able to find them. Cheetahs usually form groups of 2 or 3 brothers. A coalition of 5 cheetahs that are not related is very unusual. Unlike solitary hunters, the coalitions are able to consistently bring down larger animals like wildebeest. The coalition has been successful here in driving out all the other males from their territory. This day started out clear, but the rain clouds have moved in. We watch a cheetah mom here with 2 cubs huddled together in the rain. That does it for today. We're hoping for better weather tomorrow. Where we saw thousands of wildebeest 4 days ago, all we see are a few stragglers. The rain has turned them away from the river. But what we do find are the predators, taking advantage of the injured and the infirm that can't keep up with the herd. The hyenas seem quite happy with the situation and bring out the pups to play. The jackals are out looking for an unattended kill, to steal a bite. A cheetah mother found some shelter for she and her cub. But it's the lion who rules the savannah. The Tommies eye the lion cautiously, but she's not a threat. They can outrun her. Everything seems to be going well for the Tommies. They have several cute little calves and plenty to eat. Then trouble arrives in the form of a hyena. The Tommies scatter in all directions. The hyena gives chase and the little Tommy trips in a mud puddle. And with one bite of the hyena's jaws, it becomes a meal. But that's part of life and death on the savannah. Nothing is wasted here, and this morning the hyena pups will be fed. As for the Tommies, they give birth twice a year to 1 or 2 calves. A pride of lions has killed a large wildebeest last night, and by this morning there isn't much left. The lions have eaten their fill. The hyenas, vultures, and marabou stork are waiting for them to leave the carcass for their afternoon nap. We see several more lions out surveying their kingdom. This looks like the cub is getting a hunting lesson. We were finally lucky enough to see a leopard. In fact, there were supposedly 3, a mother and 2 cubs, but they were well hidden and only one large cub revealed himself. On the last hour of the last game drive, our guide Zach spotted this Aardwolf. He said that in 25 years of guiding, this is only his 3rd sighting of this elusive animal. The Aardwolf is a shy, nocturnal insectivore. They can lap up as many as 250,000 termites in one night. Their large ears enable them to hear the termites underground. The rain must have caused this one to rise early, either because his burrow flooded or the termites were forced above ground, making the foraging easy. The secretary bird is yet another kind of predator. It's uniquely adapted to hunt snakes with its long legs, but rodents and small birds are just fine too. The Tawny Eagle is on the lookout for fresh carrion, small mammals, reptiles, and birds. The vultures are in the trees waiting their turn. Vultures' feathers don't shed water like a duck's, so after it rains, they spread their wings to dry out before they can fly. There's a break in the weather, and we decide to see if anything's crossing the Mara. It's quite a distance to the river, and the roads are very muddy, and the streams are swollen. We're encouraged. There's a herd of topi that looks like they want to cross. There are 4 topi on the other side, seeming to cheer the others on. Then the unexpected happens. The topi on the other side cross back over to join the larger group. They're probably telling them that the grass isn't greener on the other side, or to warn them that the river is full of crocodiles. Since we're at the river, we find a hippo pool and a bloat of hippos and watch them bob up and down. Baby hippos are at risk from the many predators of the Mara, but adults are rarely attacked. In fact, hippos will attack crocodiles. We don't think about hippos as predators since they're herbivores, but they are among the most dangerous animals because they're aggressive and unpredictable. The late afternoon rains have become a regular thing. We really appreciate the guide's skills in navigating these roads in these conditions. But the sunrises are pretty spectacular, and the mornings are good for game viewing, so we make the most of it. The buffalo don't migrate, and they are not an easy target for predators, so they have it pretty easy here. It looks like they're doing all right. There's a lot of little buffalo in the herd. They are fun to photograph with their Mr. Magoo squints. One morning we ran into this scene while looking for leopards. It was so peaceful, it was obvious there weren't any leopards here, but we stayed to watch the giraffes. Or were they watching us? Then every afternoon we watched the dark clouds roll in. As the rain starts to fall, we find a good tree to silhouette against the setting sun. Then we hurry back to camp as the sky opens up and it really starts to pour. The birds weren't too happy with the rain, but we did see some interesting species here that we haven't seen before on this trip. We enjoyed really good food and hospitality at all the camps and lodges on this trip, but Intrepids really stood out. They say all good things must come to an end. Here we are at the Okiumbu airstrip with nothing ahead but a long trip home. It was a great trip because of these three great guides, Peter, Zach, and Nick. We board the Safari Link de Havilland-8 for the flight to Nairobi. Lunch and a nap at the Norfolk Hotel, then we fly out at midnight on the flight home.